So you have seen my Q&A video series that has been out. We've got video number 1 where I answered all the homeschool questions I could find. Q&A number 2, which I thought it was going to be more about my current business, but I ended up having several questions more about back in the day when I was a nurse. And no one asked about my old 20-year-old computer college degree, but I got it, paid for it, so I had to bring that up too. And that ended up being the second video where I mentioned how now in my business I make more than if I ever would have been able to complete my dream I had for a little bit of continuing on to be a nurse practitioner. So today I will tell you more about my online business. One of the mamas asked, I know you sold your online business. What are you doing now? One of the blogs that I was known for or that I created back in 2012, it just really exploded at that time, was called Free Homeschool Deals. And I sold free homeschool deals in middle-ish of 2018. I didn't share right at the exact time I sold it. In fact, I really only shared a few weeks ago. It has new owners now. They're doing their wonderful, amazing things, taking it to new heights and new levels and all of that. But that blog wasn't my business. My business is a publishing company, LLC, and the business has many aspects, and that blog was one of the blogs that my business owned and my business sold, but that blog in and of itself was not my entire business. If you would like a larger version on how I built my business up until 2015, I do have a video, and it will be linked in the description below where all the links go. And at the time I called it How I Support My Family of 9 on the Internet. When I did that video in 2015, my husband had already come home full-time in 2013. We were already walking this out. And in that video, I shared multiple income streams I had developed, one of which being that blog. So since 2015 to this time, I have continued, like any wise business person in any business, not just in online business, I have continued to develop multiple income streams. And so YouTube now is one of my income streams. It's not my biggest income stream. It's not my only income stream. There's other income streams out there. I also have another blog. I also work with sponsors and advertisers. That blog also has passive ads. There's email marketing. There's speaking. There's a lot of opportunities. There's so much more I could be doing. I do a lot, but I also try to do the bare minimum, because if you didn't get the point in any of my videos, especially in my video number 2, my heart is to be a mama. The Lord has me operating in this, we'll say Proverbs 31 hearted business. Never thought I'm going to start an online business and I'm going to provide for my family. And we're going to do this for many, many years. And so there's another question. Benjamin's talking. Do you and Travis have a backup plan if when the day comes that YouTube blogging is no longer a viable source of income? And that's a great question. Here's my thing. This has never been my plan. Again, I shared I had the computer degree, I had the nursing license and a further vision with my nursing. Travis went to college for 4 years. Travis was working as a licensed electrician. We are not rich by any means, but we have been walking out Dave Ramsey's baby steps for several years. And I also get questions, you know, people want to know, because it's interesting, it's different, what our budget is, how we break our budget down, exact details and budgeting numbers. And I know, and I watch them and read them too, there are people online who share their blogging income report, share financial tips and strategies. Besides this video, I haven't done a video like this since 2015. It's been 4 years. I only have so much I can get my mouth open about. I share about motherhood, I share about homeschooling, I do get my mouth open about that some, and I share a whole lot about food. It's just a big part of my life. If I start going down like the financial and hardcore budgeting side, I don't have the bandwidth for it. I don't have the emotional bandwidth. I don't have the time. You know, a lot of times when I share things on YouTube, people want the recipe and I get it up on the blog. I have products that I'm working on. I have email funnels that I'm working on. You know, I have online business related things I'm working on. And so I do talk about being frugal minded and things I've learned over the years. Again, the vinegar spray and cloth diapering and boiling chicken, peeling the chicken from the bone, making soup from the chicken broth, making homemade yogurt, making homemade laundry detergent. But you know, the upgrades in our life is now we have central heat and central air conditioning. You know, we have closets now. At our farmhouse, we had 6-foot ceilings upstairs. My husband's 6'6", and I mean, my 15-year-old's like 6'3" already. So when people want to know in the question, focus, J. Morrell, in the question of what is our backup plan, we have continued to walk out Dave Ramsey's ways. We're walking out financial choices that will only benefit our family long term. And if the internet turned off tomorrow, we would be okay. Travis could go back to work as a licensed electrician. I can even, there's a process nurses go through to get their license reinstated. I've talked to many moms who maybe they haven't worked for 20 years. I would go through the process to get my license reinstated if I needed to. I think honestly, Travis could go back to work and I could be full-on focused mom, and I would start getting all my frugal, super frugal, and dig for even more frugal tips and tricks. But as long as there's the internet, this is where we are during this season. When my hobby blog got to the point where I was like, okay, I've been doing this for a year, it's taking 15 to 20 hours a week. I really need to double my grocery budget. These kids are getting bigger. I want to be able to buy fruit. If I want a box of bananas, I want to be able to buy a box of bananas. I was going to go back to picking up a nursing shift here and there on the weekends just to help with the grocery budget. And I just prayed for the Lord to show me, like I was meeting moms that were making part-time incomes online. I heard of a few who are making full-time incomes online. And I prayed for the Lord to show me how. He walked me out on that path. So much so to where by 2013, my husband came home full-time. Now, when he came home, we did it on a trial basis. I had just had Amelia. And so what we were going to do and what we did was that he was coming home for 3 months for the Family Medical Leave Act. He could be home with a new baby in our family for 3 months without pay, but his job had to hold a position for him. So we thought, you know what? On paper, it looks like I'm making enough to where if we continue to pay attention and attempt to make wise choices, we might be able to make it work with him being home full time. I needed help. I needed to hire a full-time personal assistant to come to my house to help me in business and or help do mother's helper stuff. To pay someone else would be the same amount if my husband came home full time. We were already having issues with his job, working him on mandatory overtime, like overtime we didn't even want, 70 hours a week type overtime. And so he came home for us to test this out. We felt like we had the safety net of his job being there. At the end of 3 months, we had made it, but there was still a lot of fear there. We really felt like the Lord was telling us to do this, but then we really felt like maybe this is not right. Even though financially it had worked out for 3 months. We even had some income streams that changed during that time, and we thought, well, maybe you should, maybe. So he went back to work for like a week. I was a wreck. The house was a wreck. He missed us. We missed him. It was really, really hard. And so in June, like he put his notice in so he could always go back. And June 2013, he came home full time. And at that time, I was making enough to support the business and I was making enough to provide for our family. I thought for whatever time it was, you know, if I was doing this, if I was building this business and running this business, and at that point I was even doing like getting on airplanes and traveling and speaking at conferences and flying around with Amelia. She was 4 months old. You know, we weren't sure how things were going to look. We just knew it was a unique opportunity for our family to be together. And now we're in our 6th year of me working online and my husband still being home full time. Another mom asked, what do you do for health insurance? Are you happy with the coverage it provides when you receive health care? She says, I've always been hesitant to stay home and use a Christian sharing network. So that was one of the things that we considered in bringing Travis home full time. That was another step of faith thing. How would this look like if we're paying for health care. And so we decided to go with a company called Christian Healthcare Ministries. So far with Christian Healthcare Ministries, we've had 2 babies, so we used Christian Healthcare Ministries for both of those pregnancies. We've been very happy with the coverage that we received. I did a detailed video about our experience with them thus far when I had Daniel. I will also link that below, and I will put the Christian Healthcare Ministries link down below so you can read more about their coverage. I don't work for them, I do use them, but I don't want to say, you know, their benefits package wrong or anything for you, except that we use them. We've been very happy with them, and you can read more about them in the link in the description below. And so Taman the Frizz, she has a great YouTube channel, by the way. She says, I know you're a dreamer, yes we know that, and would love to do all the things, but what are some of your goals and aspirations for this year, personally, spiritually, and business? So personally, it's hard in the winter because I love to get out and walk. And so personally, I've been trying, even when it's cold, even if I have to get up and go out with just 1 or 2 of the older kids, I've been trying to get out several mornings a week. And we do this hike that ends up being about 3 miles. And one of the many things that Travis does in being home full time is he's watching the house and doing everything with all the other kids, so I can go out and get that walk. And I sure appreciate that, Travis. I've been doing Taekwondo with them for about a month now. I tell you, I get back, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes. We go nonstop, start to finish, and I feel like I've had an amazing workout and learned great skills, and it's great for hand-eye coordination and problem solving and all of that. So I've really been enjoying doing that with them 2 evenings a week. I want to walk more. I want to continue with Taekwondo. I have been on Trim Healthy Mama, will be a whole other video, and the keto questions and all of that for well over a month now, probably hitting close to probably in my 5th week now. So those are some of my personal goals. Spiritual goals, I want to continue to keep myself in a season where I'm getting in consistent quiet time with the Lord. Not a requirement, not a basis for salvation or any of that, but I sure would love to have a year where I've been able to make that a priority most days. Business goal wise, so I'm coming out with large family freezer meals packs 7, 8, and 9. So I have about a 2-month plan right now where I want to get those packs out, and I'm having my blog redesigned. Of course, since I've changed the channel name to my name, I'm just gonna have the URL be jamarelstewart.com. Yes, we'll go back to that. I've been working with some logo designers in trying to get a logo with my name. I have about 20 recipes that have already been developed, and I have the pictures for, and I have to get those up. So all of that, like when I talk about my work time, I honestly don't count the time I put into making videos as work time, because 9 times out of 10 my videos are shot on the fly, real life vlogging style, just taking you along and chatting with you while I'm stirring my chili or shopping or taking a walk down the road or something. These videos where I sit and have to form complete thoughts and answer Q&A questions, this has taken my afternoon, and probably will end up being, yeah, it's 8 o'clock now. This has taken my whole afternoon and evening, but by the time I'm done with this, I will have done 3 videos. In general, I don't count YouTube time as work time. When I talk about going to have my work time, I am on the computer working on blog and email and product development. I've had some questions in here about schedules in general. I will get on a schedule that works really well for a while. Usually how our pattern has grown, we have had, I was talking to a friend the other day, I have had 3 babies in the last 8 years. Well, at the beginning of that, I had just had Liam, so 4 in the last 8 years, 3 of which once my online work became a full-time income. And so that is where I got into the pattern of having a dedicated work day, because if I couldn't, between naps and sleeping more at night and homeschooling and raising children and running a house and making all these meals, if I couldn't find any time on a daily basis, I could take a dedicated day. So I've had seasons where I will have 2 work days a week. You know, I'll work Wednesday and I'll work Saturday. And I'll just go to work in the morning and I get done about bedtime, going back to those nursing shifts. I can sit and work 12 to 15 hours. Now I do have to watch my neck and how I'm sitting, how I'm holding my neck. Now, because I said that, it makes me feel like I could crack my neck. Okay, another mama said, honestly, I would love for you to do a video describing your daily schedule. Now that the holidays are over, how do you schedule read aloud time, cleaning, meal prep? I like the work days, but I don't like doing 2 in a week. I will if I have to, but like right now we have basketball games on Saturdays and I don't want to miss that. Travis would take all the kids without me. He runs them a lot, doing a lot of the basketball dad stuff, but I want to be a part of that. So I've been working Wednesdays. We had a schedule we tried. I could call this video schedules I like or schedules I tried but I'm not using. Like when you see the baby name videos, baby names I like but I'm not using. So we did try a schedule a few weeks ago that I thought was just gonna be amazing. Get up in the morning, have my Jesus and coffee time, get myself ready for the day, and then I would go into my office and go to work. And I was gonna work, we'll say like 8 to 11 or 8 to noon. During that time, Travis would have kids get up, do their morning routine, and get school started. So by the time I came out of my office at noon, kids would be 3/4 of the way done with their school, and I could help just, you know, be a part of the family life, help finish up anything, maybe help serve out lunch, and then roll into our read aloud time and go on from there. I thought I would really like that. I tried it for a week and I missed being a big part of the homeschool. And so we've had different schedules that we've tried. I think this time last year I was trying a schedule where I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday straight. I did 4 days straight, but then I had 2 weeks off. And you know my off time, like I'm real busy all the time, right? It's not like I'm here eating bonbons or on a beach resting. It just means I'm making meals and homeschooling kids and making videos and all of that. So I was gonna have 8 work days a month, basically 4 days every other week. I tried that and I got burned out on that real quick. I don't know, it might be up to 12 different schedules I have worked during different times over these last 8 years. I have a blog post about it. I think that blog post at the time was 7 different work-at-home mom schedules for homeschool moms, and I shared different schedules I had walked out during different times. Organic Mama asks, can you please make a video about starting an online business? I know you have one, but maybe you could make an updated version. So my kind of nitty-gritty quick tips would be that once you start making money in your business, you need to set it up like a business. With mine, you know, people get confused because it's not brick and mortar. You'll want to get your tax ID number because you're going to pay taxes. You'll want to set up your separate bank account because you're going to pay your business expenses out of your bank account. I would suggest reading EntreLeadership because a lot of his nitty-gritty, how it all started, what it really looked like, and how he learned and handled the finances and all of that is in EntreLeadership. So this is a great, just starting out and at any point in the game, entrepreneur book. And if we're speaking about blogging and YouTube and Instagram and online work and all the various ways that mamas can make money online, I know a blog is not necessary. I am from the blogger days. Lots of successful mamas are out there. They don't have a blog, but I think setting up the pillars of online business are important. I think you should have a blog. Even if you don't have the dates on there or post often, I still think you should have a blog presence. I think, and so as a YouTuber, have the blog, and I think you should have an email list. Email lists are super important for online business, no matter what form of online business you are doing. If you're in online business, you're saying yes and amen. I cannot give you an email marketing course or email online business course today at this moment, sitting in this chair with my family, one to eat chili, but just research. Google your way through it. That's how I figure out most things and how I have figured out most things. Search why it's important to have an email list. Search what you do with that email list. Search how you make email funnels. And at some point, whether you do this at the beginning, at the end, in the middle, you want to tie in doing your own products to whatever platform it is that you are building online. But I think why most people are not successful online in general is because they don't get started. And once they do get started, they don't keep picking away at it. Don't just start something and then let it totally sit. There's little steps you can take, little ways that you can push on it that will add up over time. So I hope you enjoyed this business update, business tips with Jamarel. For those who have been concerned how I provide for my family online, long story short, multiple income streams over many years. I will gladly talk with you in the comments below. Anything I've mentioned, like my schedule ideas and how I make money online and all of that, I will have articles and other videos linked below, and I'll chat with you in those comments below. And remember, do what Jon Acuff says and just get started. Bye-bye.